intro is needed, but I'm going to just talk a little bit, let this room fill up. Really appreciate you all. We're going to be live like 95. We're going to talk about the new coaching staff. We're going to talk about the new players. Player versus coaching, or coaching versus player. Let's get it. Let's get it. Y'all jump in. Hit those notification bells. I know it's the off season. I know that you guys are tired of hearing Cowboys, but we talking to only the people that love Cowboys. Ain't that right? I got my brother from another mother, Big Game James. Everything else remained the same in the house. Let me know if you live like 95 over there.
I'm live like 95. You know what's going down over here. You know how we do. We back at it again on the late night hype.
Hype. The real flavor, baby. Hey, there's no placebos over here. It's none of that fake stuff, man. We talk the real deal Holyfield.
No, we ain't doing none of that fake stuff over here, dog.
Yeah. So, man, there's some major moves been kicked around. It's some major stuff that's been happening. Shout out to LVE. May he have a speedy recovery. He's balancing the elements. You know how that goes, right?
Yeah, man. I'm still nervous about it, dog. I mean, I had Patrick Walker on my show from CBS Sports Thursday. Now, according to him, his sources, and I really trust what Patrick says, but on this one, I'm just a little nervous. He said he's talked to multiple sources from different people who didn't know the same people that he was going to get a full recovery. All the people said it was going to be a full recovery. And he said none of them people knew each other, so he wasn't like, getting the favoritism of all these guys that know each other, and they're giving me the corporate line of LVE is going to be good. He said he got opinions from many different sources saying it's going to be full, but I don't know, man. I'm sorry, that's a neck. I'm sorry. You can tell me till you're blue in your face you're going to get a full recovery if you didn't play football. Yeah, I definitely feel like you're going to get a great full recovery if you don't play football. But if you're playing football at linebacker and you had surgery in your neck, I don't care if it was the same neck injury, that's just nerve-wracking. I still think they need to cover their tracks, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. I had a crook in my neck about a couple of weeks ago, and I couldn't even get off the couch. You see? And I work behind a desk. I can only imagine. Now, I know these athletes are and especially as young as he is, he should be able to bounce back. Like my mom used to say, and my grandma used to say, when you hurt your back, boy, you ain't nothing. You got nothing but a gristle. You don't have a back. You see what I'm saying? Them old folks used to say that. But I'll tell you this, though. Like you said, when the report came out and said minor surgery, we knew that they was trying to sell us a dream. Because
selling us a dream, dog. I mean, like I said, I need to I hope and pray because, I mean, LVE is a monster. I mean, we do need him. I mean, he had a little bit of a down year, but I definitely believe he can bounce back and be very productive, especially with this defense that's coming in, the defensive coordinators that are coming in. I'm excited about that, but I'm sorry. I'm just still nervous about a neck injury. It's just not good to me especially when you're playing defense and you're hitting people, you're going after impact, and your neck is going to hit. I mean, come on. How many times have we watched games? I mean, Law, how many times have you watched games and you're like, dang, I'm surprised he got up.
I'm surprised.
Like, for real, I've seen people have collisions. I'm like, how does this dude get up? But, this was some good luck because just seeing some of these people hit these necks, I'm like, wow. So, and you saw it affected his game. You saw that he wasn't tackling and being as aggressive because he was thinking about it. And why wouldn't you? It's a neck injury. One bad move, you can never play again. Is it worth it? You just seen what happened with Luke Kuechly. Yes. He just retired at 29 years old, 28 years old. And I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why I feel he retired. Remember when he had that really bad concussion? He got hit and his helmet came off and he was crying. And that still affected. He was having and remember, he didn't come back for like 5, 6, 7 games. Right. That was a bad concussion. That's a head injury, dog. How many players have we seen that have retired and they can't walk or they can barely move or they forget stuff? And what they say, CTE, the brain. Okay, these guys are a lot more smarter now than they were back in the day. It was like, oh, shake it off and keep on playing. Hey, it's 2020, dog. These players are a lot bigger and stronger and faster, and they want to be able to have a life after football, and I don't blame him. He played 8, 9 strong years, and he's coming into a rookie coach that's from college. You really think he wants to do that start over plan at his age? No. I felt like he was just like, nah, I ain't doing all that. I'm out of here.
2 tears in the bucket, pluck it. I'm gone. Shout out to Jay Reese, man, first person that's in the chat, man. Really appreciate you. NKMT72, man. Really appreciate you. Big Game James. One thing that I can say about philosophy versus scheme, or these new coaches versus the old players that we do have, I'm not worried about linebacker, because I can go back and look at the Saints. They had linebackers to fly out to the ball. I can look at any coaching team that Mike McCarthy, although he's on the offensive side of the ball, Martinez, Matthew Kidd, he had linebackers. He got linebackers. He found linebackers, man.
Right. That's never going to be an issue.
Too. So I think that whoever we go out there and pick up to supplement LVE while he recovering, or whoever we pick up to go and gel with Jalen Smith, I'm thinking that this linebacking situation will be okay. Just off the philosophy of the coaches.
And not just that, they picked up Malcolm Smith. I think they need to re-sign him. I don't think he's going to be expensive. I think he's a good insurance policy. You saw the last couple of games he played. He was very effective with the Cowboys. I like him. So I think he's a definite option to keep. They got the other kid, Ray Armstrong. He's still on the roster. And so, they got options. And then I believe you made a post where you were showing a lot of defensive players that they can make the switch to the 3-4 if it was to go that route. You got Jalen Jelks, who definitely is going to be a linebacker. They even have him listed as a linebacker already. And that could be one of those Edmonds kids that we were talking about from Buffalo. So I feel like Dallas has the players, especially at the linebacker position. And a linebacker, you're always going to find linebackers. I feel like that's why they don't get paid crazy dollars, because you can find linebackers anywhere and they can be effective. So that's not a huge hole for us. And you can find not patchwork guys, but guys that aren't like superstars but can still be effective in your defense.
Yes, indeed. And I'm thinking that a linebacker's best friend and a defensive back, regardless of how you look at it, and whether it be the strong safety or the free safety, and you can throw in some cornerbacks, their best friend is that front four, that pressure that you can create. And I'm looking at this draft, and I'm looking at also the free agencies that's out there. It'll be crazy for the Cowboys to go back to the old philosophy of not worrying about the trash can full of dirt. They're going to get that because it helps the linebackers out, especially when you look. We can say, okay, the personnel may still be the same, but the philosophy will not. Mike Nolan runs a two-gap system. What's that guy, Papa Rob Marinelli? He runs a one-gap system. So we can just start from there. And he's over there in Oakland. May he do a good job.
I don't. But one thing I want to say about that, I don't agree with the way Gruden did that. That's just my opinion on it. You got Buckner that was over there. And he basically took them from I think they got 13 or something sacks, and then he got them up to 34 sacks. They went from 30th rushing to up to rushing defense to in near the top 10, I believe. And then you just get rid of them after making all improvements just to get Rod Marinelli, who's 70 years old. I know Rod Marinelli's a beast, but you know what? You got to let these younger guys in and let them be able to do their thing. Rod Marinelli is 70 years old, dog. Wow. Just like Romeo Cannell, 72 years old, and you're still coaching. It's time for you to go. You've been in the league for eons.
Made your dime,
Let some of these other young guys get a chance to be able to coach too. You guys are holding on with this Geritol and these canes and stuff and won't let nobody else get in there. Let somebody else get in there. I respect you, Rod. I'm not hating on you, but you need to retire, dog. You're 70. Just like when Dick LeBeau was 81, still coaching defense, dog. Come on, man.
Yes, and people will listen to that and say, oh, Law, he's hating. But nah, he's not. Big Game James speaking nothing but the truth and the fact. Now, he do got some experience. He will bring the knowledge and these sort of things. But shout out to Kimberly, shout out to Terrence and all of those, Rodney, for being on the Facebook, and Jonathan, really appreciate you all. Hit that share button. But here's the thing, though. When we start talking about that, and this would be a good segue. Did you get a chance to hear Xavier Woods today on First Take? Undisputed Cowboys. That's the name of the show. Undisputed Cowboys. Did you get a chance to hear him talk on that?
Yeah, I saw a little bit. I didn't get the whole thing. I actually posted the video on my Big Game James page. I watched probably about maybe 5-6 minutes of it. But I was working and doing other things, so I didn't get to finish it. But I got the gist of it. I got the gist of, I heard what Xavier was saying. I mean, I agree with what a lot of things he was saying. Basically talking about, you know what, we can't put everything on Garrett. He's not out there playing. We were making bad plays. We were missing tackles. And he brought up the Chicago game. He said they play like absolute trash game. Yeah. He said, you know, we can't be giving up 3rd and 15s. He said that ain't on Garrett. And he's like, you know, we made Mitch Trubisky look like Joe Montana out there. You know what I'm saying? So that's not on Jason Garrett. But he did come back and say, too, when they said, well, do you know what? Do you think the Jason Garrett's voice got stale? You know, saying the same thing over and over. And he was like, that happens with everybody. I think he just said that because he didn't want to throw Garrett underneath the bus.
Right. He tried
in my opinion, he's trying to be nice to him. But, yeah, that's just telling me, yeah, the voice did get stale. And just like the same thing with McCarthy. I mean, you see the Packers are in the championship game, right?
Right.
They're going to see McCarthy 2 years in a row didn't go to the playoffs. They get a new voice, and guess what he does? He takes them gets them to the championship game. Is that indicative on McCarthy? No, I don't think it's indicative on McCarthy.
Facts.
I think it's because you've been there 13 years. You're not winning any longer. Nobody wants to hear what you got to say no more. Everybody's going to do that, dog. Ain't nobody robots. If you've been coaching me for 13 years, you only got 1 Super Bowl, and we got bounced the last couple of years, I probably ain't listening to you as much, dog. That's just what happens, and I think that's what happened with Garrett, and I think Xavier Woods expounded upon it.
Yes, indeed. And then
hey,
Woods,
my dog, Skywalker, still.
What's going on?
$5 holla. Yeah. Let's switch it up. Bring in multiple defense. Skywalker, boy, that's my dog. What Chris Tucker said, that's my dog.
That's my dog.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my goodness. Dog.
Make that donation to help grow the nation.
Donation. Don't make him be by himself. Get over there. No, let's donate. We got to. I told y'all I got to get to Vegas, and y'all got to give me this Go Me Fund and get me to Vegas. So let's go.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. This is the type of energy we need, Cowboy Nation, even on an off season.
And I'm tired as hell, and I'm pulling it out of me. So Cowboys, you can do it too.
Let's go. Let's go. My thing is, Big Game James. Hey, you talking about the message being stale and these sorts of things. Hey, I want people to say this right quick. Stop making excuses because these players can't be falling on the sword and sitting there saying that, hey, it's all fault. It's all fault. I want people to go watch this movie. I'm always like to bring up movies, Big Game James. And the name of this movie is Coach Carter.
I know about Coach Carter. Carter.
Hey, they had my guy Samuel L. Jackson in that movie. And the main thing, the same team, same players. They had to get rid of some of the star players, but his message, his voice was of the reason. He set a tone. He set the discipline. That's exactly what you want a new coach to do when they enter into the scene. On top of that, if you look at it, and I'm going to just go ahead and speak this message to all of the people that's sitting there saying that McCarthy had that stale situation, and all of a sudden now the Green Bay Packers are playing in the playoff and these sorts of things. Don't you know that Aaron Rodgers had his worst year status-wise ever? He had his worst game ever. You see what I'm saying? Worst season ever, pretty much, almost, not ever, but you know what I'm talking about.
Right, dog.
But what I'm trying to lament here is that this right here.
And they play in the NFC North, and it's not that good this year.
Chicago Bears twice a year. The Detroit,
come on, dog. Detroit, come on, dog.
But here's the thing. I want to say this, though. I want to be able to say this, is that their defense stepped it up. 2019 versus 2018 and 17, the offense remained the same. Matter of fact, from a point style play, we score more points than them. We average 27 to 28 points a game. They average 23.4 points a game. So what we're trying to say is that it's a complete team. You got to have it on both sides. And I'm thinking that just as well as this offense laid an egg as it relates to money zone, green zone, red zone, the defense refused to get turnovers and takeaways. In the last 25 years, there's a weird stat out there, Big Game James.
Tell me about it.
The stat says that the Dallas Cowboys in the past 25 years Been ranked bottom half as it relates to turnovers, takeaways, snatching the ball away from the opposition. How about that?
That's crazy. Well, you know what? We haven't been aggressive though, dog. And when you listen to Will McClay, I mean, he talked about today when he was on air, and they were saying that he's going to have that in your face approach. Okay, and guess what? Mike McCarthy don't have no loyalty to these players.
Right.
Tom Sula don't have no loyalty to these players. Mike Nolan don't have loyalty to these players. So guess what? They can't rest on Papa. Oh, see you. Trust me, I'm not being disrespectful, but you ain't gonna be like, see you, Dad, like Antoine Wood says, see you, Dad, when he's saying Brian Marinelli going, see you, Dad, bye. Yeah, okay, because it was probably not that hard. Okay.
Right.
Brian got a big bark. But when we was watching their practices, they was all right. You know what I'm saying? We was out there, we was watching the practices.
Yeah. And
I just feel like it was a little bit easier. So y'all waving because y'all like, damn, now they gonna be cracking the whip. Bye, Papa Rob, bye.
Yeah.
They gonna be whipping us now and then. They gonna be burning us going hard. Vidal don't play with your 1999. Holla! Go! I'm sorry, y'all.
Donation.
Donation.
When y'all see that type of donation, man, you gotta give love to the nation, man. Gotta give love to the nation. Big Game James, man.
I love you.
I'm talking about.
Let's go.
About. People gonna be like, man, this is total pandemonium, man.
Say, y'all crazy. That's right. We crazy. That's why you need to get the hell on in this feed on Tuesday on the late night.
On the late night hype. Yes, indeed, man. And I'm telling you, you're going to be geared up and ready for hump day, man, when you listen to this show.
Montana 808 said, I'm tweaking. Nah, dog, I'm just going off that hard energy because I worked all damn day. I just left from calling a high school basketball game. My team won again, and I got right here on the 1 and 2s talking to you. That's where I'm going hard. Because I go hard in the paint, big dog.
People will never understand the grind. You got to grind low and stride high, baby. And that's what we doing. That's exactly what we doing. And this Cowboys team, look, I got to say this, though. Are you a fan of the 3-4 defense, Big Game James?
I mean, I'm going to keep it real. When I coached, I ran strictly the 3-4. Okay. I loved it because I felt like I could attack offenses better with those four backers standing up, and I had the personnel to do it. I had fat boys. I had a fat boy, and my son, he wasn't fat, but my oldest son was a big boy. You know what I'm saying? When he played, and he went in that middle and he did what I needed him to do. He took on them two offensive linemen, and he was freeing up my linebackers, and I was blitzing the hell out of them kids. Them kids didn't like it. I was sitting in the pain, and we was getting complex. You know, youth football, some of them coaches, they got talent, and they're like, oh, you know what? They rely on that talent. But guess what? When you really coaching, I'm not saying I was the greatest 3-4 scheme. Don't let me jump up and say that. But I studied it, and I'll attack them in different ways. And I believe that's what you can do in that 3-4. If you got them big boys, yes, it can work. And I believe that these guys that they have brought in now on the coaching staff are really going to invest in the big fat boys. I said, fat boys are back. And you know they can never be whacked. Yeah. The fat boys are back. Bringing the fat boys. We need the fat boys back. And I need to see them fat boys in the middle. And I believe that these guys that they brought in are going to finally do that. It's finally going to be addressed. We're not going to have these flex guys. We're not going to have 295-pound guys playing one tech. That don't work. Yeah. In third quarter, them boys is tired. And when they got 330, 340 offensive linemen, they're going to push you out the way. Them linebackers are going to be free, and they're going to get to the second level. And that's what's been happening to us. And we need pluggers. And that's what I feel like these guys, because we got grunts with Tom Sula and Nolan, and I feel like they're finally going to address it. And they got some guys out there on free agency that are out there. There's a plethora of defensive tackles on the free agent tip, or you can definitely address that in the draft. Right. You brought up, you had the video with Javon Kinlaw. He nasty, dog.
Oh, that boy nasty.
He nasty. But there's another guy that I've been really keeping my eye on. My guy, Michael Aaron Petty, posted in the War Room. Shout out to you, big dog. I don't know if I said this right because I don't know if he's Polynesian or not, but he's from Utah. Yes. You already know.
I already know.
6'5", 335. Let me say that to you again. 6'5", 335. You understand that? That's a fat boy. Remember, was it Vita Villa?
Vita Vea, yeah.
Over
Vita
with
Vea.
the Bucks.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying, "Oh, he can't rush the passer," and he's doing pretty good at that. Guess what I'm saying? We get that run stuffer. He frees it for a LVE if he comes back, or a Jalen Smith, because we know Jalen Smith is better when he's clean. Okay, so we get those guys, keep those guys clean. They're more effective and can do what they do. Holla. Mark Scott coming with the $2 holla.
Yes.
$2 holla.
Yes.
Donations.
Donation.
Appreciate you, dog. He said, I hope McCarthy's back like Andy Reid. Dog, don't we all?
Oh, yeah. I mean, here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. When we look at the 3-4 defense, it's harder to point out the Mike. 4-3 defense, you can sit there and look. There's the Mike right there. You can disguise better. You can look right at the 4-3. There go that Mike. There he go right there. Mike. 54. Mike. You can point him out real quick. You can see where he's at, and the alignments is going to be very, very suspect as it relates to, you can't hide that from me. You can't shove that in my face and sitting there saying that you're going to go with this lineup. But with that 3-4, you don't know who's hot. You got to really look at that defense, and then you really got to figure out who's going to drop, who's going to stay in, who's going to blitz off to the edge. That's why you see the Khalil Max winning. That's why you see the other guy, Von Millers of the world's winning. That's why you see the JJ Watt little brother, what's his name?
TJ.
All them J's. That's how you see him win.
All them J's.
Yeah, all them J's. So it's a defense to at least slow down your reads, to slow down what you're trying to see and what you're trying to go with. Not saying that the 4-3 is not workable. Not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is that you may get more turnovers and takeaways out of the 3-4 because the teams with those 3-4 defenses have a tendency to blitz those A gaps or have the tendency to send a guy off the edge to get there.
Heck yeah. And like I said, this is a good thing because it's a lot of defensive tackles that are out there. I was just looking at some of the defensive tackles that were available. One of the guys that I really like that could be affordable that I think the Cowboys should look at that I really like is Jordan Phillips from Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
6'6", 340 pounds, and he is nice. And you saw when we played them, he was wreaking havoc on our offensive line as far as penetration, big boy. He's a guy that attacks. And I was looking at his contract. He's affordable. He had a 1-year deal over at Buffalo. And just going by, some of the salary caps of what they project, I mean, about $6 million, what they're projecting, what he could get in the market, that ain't killing Dallas. And you don't have to sign him to a long-term deal. So you can go out there. Mike Daniels is out there. That could be a reuniting. He's 31, but I think he's 31. A little old for me.
Yeah.
I just feel like he's got a lot of tread on his tires, but he could be reunited for like a 1-year deal. Something like that.
Can he bring something to the table more than
nastiness?
Christian Covington did? Can he bring a little bit more than what Christian Covington brought?
Christian Covington wasn't nasty, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm not hating on you, Christian Covington. I promise you, I'm not. I like him, but when he, I think they were challenged him. A team was challenged him, and when they interviewed him, he was just so nice. He was like, "Yeah, okay, we'll bring it." He was just nice when he said it, like, "Yeah, okay, we'll bring it." No, I want you to say, "What, man? All right, well, guess what? We gonna whoop your ass. Then we gonna see." He was just nice about it. See, a Mike Daniels, and I'm not saying we get him because he made $8 million last year, so he gonna cost some bread. We ain't trying to spend no kind of bread on you, but we all seen Mike Daniels on the top 100. We seen him on NFL Mic'd Up. That boy don't never shut up. And he's always talking trash. And he's always going hard. We need some of that nastiness on the line. Because think about it. I'm going to go through our defensive linemen right now. If you look at Antoine Woods, you got Daniel Ross, Malik Collins, Kerry Hyder, Christian Covington, Robert Quinn, and Michael Bennett. Out of all those guys, who you're telling me is nasty?
Just
exactly.
I liked Woods a little bit, but he
nasty. He got an attitude because he hood. He Gorilla hood. So I'm gonna give it, but he little.
He little though. He little big. You know.
he a little gorilla.
Shout out to Mark Scott for the donation to help grow the nation with the.
There you go, Mark. Holla, holla. And I'm gonna come back and get you, Law, with the Paul Mills with the $2 holla.
There you go.
He said, I'm eager to see what our team really has to offer. We just hollering up in here. Thank you for the donation.
This not a trash can.
Ain't no trash, man. It's the donation.
That boy's good.
That boy, he good. He good.
Good and terrible.
That boy, he good and terrible.
Oh,
you
my goodness.
You my dog. I just want to tell you that.
You my dog, man. My thing is with Woods, like we said, we love Woods as it relates to the human log. But that's a tiny log compared to what we really need inside. I know 305 pounds. I can't talk about it. I look like 105 pounds. But
me, well, if you're 105, dog, I'm about 50.
But let's say, who are these guys to talk about size? You see, but we need somebody that can move some furniture out the way, and that will make Jalen do all of the swipes he wants. Matter of fact, it'll be so much swiping, the brother gonna be like, man, look, let me sit out for a couple of plays because my arm tired.
Swiping so much. Swiper. You remember Swiper swiping on Dora? That's what I need to see. Swiper, no swipe. Man. He'll be like, oh, man. That's what I want. I want to see some of that right there. Swiper, no swipe. I need to see that. But like I said, I don't think Malik Collins is coming back. That's just my opinion. True. I just feel like you got Tristan Hill. That's why you kind of drafted him, because you probably thought Malik Collins was going to leave. I just don't see Malik Collins coming back. Christian Covington, he didn't cost a lot of money, so you probably could bring him back as a good backup. But when I look at our interior, we don't have anybody on the interior. We don't have a big body on the interior. And if you're possibly going to that 3-4, or even if you're playing that 4-3, Tom Sula likes big guys. Look at that defensive line with the Washington Redskins. They had big boys. You feel me? They had guys that were going to stuff that run, and they were going to make you work. We don't have that on that front line, and the Cowboys have to address it. Only thing I'm curious about from that possibly going to that 3-4 law is, remember when Bill Parcells came in? Right. He automatically said, we're going to the 3-4. Right. That's what we're doing. We're going to the 3-4, no ifs, ands, or buts. Right. We didn't hear that from McCarthy yet, so I'm kind of wondering if it's going to go or not, or if it's going to be a flex position. But at the end of the day, I really think they are going to address that big boys. They've been talking about it, and I feel like there's going to be some splashes because you got McCarthy in, you got a new staff, you're coming in the draft. I feel like there's going to be some kind of splash. Jamal Adams.
It's something. These coaching staff, the new team,
go get him.
They're going to look for something because they can't sit back and sit on their laurels and say, hey, okay, we're going to coach what the previous team had and see if we can flip this thing around. No, we got 26 free agents. We got a new system that's going to be implemented. We're going from a one-gap system to a two-gap. And then on top of that, the responsibilities are going to be totally different. And people looking at, I see people in the chat, they're talking about what about Bennett and these sorts. Bennett is going to be 34, 35 years old.
I don't want no Michael Bennett back. He's 34 years old, and he cost $8 million. Hell to the no. I don't care. Michael Bennett did a great job with us. Do we really need a 33-year-old coming back next year? No, we don't. Get this young guy in. You can get another player in free agency that's going to cost less than him. And that age, if Michael Bennett was younger, then I could probably say that. But he's 34 years old, just like you said, Law. Do we really want to do that? I feel like we're going to move on from Michael Bennett. That was one of those things that was that mid-season. You said it was one of those kind of desperation moves because Cowboys really didn't do anything at the deadline. People wanted Cowboys to make a move, and I feel like that was kind of just to shut the fans up.
Yes, indeed. We made the wrong move. All we had to do.
T. Landry with the $2 holla.
Boy, these donations.
Donation. He said hot boys out and fat boys is in. I'll tell you, dog, the fat boys are. Just start singing it to yourself. When you're walking around, just say, the fat boys are back. And you know we can never be whacked. Just keep singing that stuff. Just keep singing that song to yourself.
Yes, indeed, man. So here's the thing. They might just look at Bennett to be one of those of off-season situations. But here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. We're going to have to figure out something because you got a chance to interview this guy earlier last year. His name was Greg Ellis. And he started off in a 4-3 defense and was converted to a 3-4. And a lot of people like, Greg Ellis? Greg Ellis.
I said
he gonna stand. He gonna stand up.
And you know how built Greg Ellis. Greg Ellis was not a little dude. Right. He was like 6'6", like 280.
Right.
6'6", 280. And he was like, and Greg Ellis even said, hell to the no. I'm not playing no linebacker. Remember, him and Parcells was going back and forth because remember he was going to the bench a little bit and he was pissed off about that because he was balking at that switch. But guess what? Next year after that switch, you had your best year ever in your parole career, had 12.5 sacks standing up. So Parcells knew what he was doing. Made yourself even better player by playing that position. And he wasn't dropping in coverage. So that's when people say, well, what about D-Law? If Greg Ellis can do it, D-Law can do it.
And on top of that, far as from a consistent level aspect of it, who's been more consistent so far in their career? Greg Ellis or D-Law? I know I might get some hate mail, but where Greg Ellis end up leaving at as an all-time sack for the Dallas Cowboys? Anybody? We got any of those historians that's in the chat? Because he always been compared to Randy Moss. Of course,
he didn't have great sack numbers though.
He didn't have great summer, but I guess he always had. He
was always around that
sacks.
8. He was already. Yeah. He was always around that 8. He was a steady guy. He was getting you around 8 sacks. You was guaranteed to get about 8 sacks. But Greg Ellis was always there. Every week, week in, week out, he was there. But for the pick that they got, you probably wanted more from him. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Compared to where they drafted him, you probably wanted more from him. Right. Having 10.5 sacks, 11.5 sacks. He wasn't doing that, but he was a steady player. But you know why Jerry drafted him. He was the safe pick. He was the good pick. He wasn't in trouble. He was a good guy. And after the situation that happened with Michael Irvin and things of that nature and the undiscipline that was running rampant with the Dallas Cowboys, that's what Jerry Jones felt he had to do because of the controversy with Randy Moss when he was coming out of college.
Yes, indeed, boy. Speaking of Moss, man, I have to go back in time and just say this right quick. A couple of days ago, we had one of the greatest coaches of all time for the Dallas Cowboys to get inducted into get an offer ladder, basically, into the Hall of Fame. Can you go ahead and just pay your respect to that coach and go ahead and give the name of that coach, Big Game James, to the nation?
Jimmy Mudsucker Johnson. Jimmy Mudsucker Johnson.
How you feel about that, man? How you feel about that,
man? I cried. If nobody else cried, something wrong with you, dog. If you're a true deep Cowboys fan, you cried because when they showed it on TV and I just seen him tearing up like that, man, dog, I just got so emotional because, man, I don't know. I'm getting those chills right now because Jimmy Johnson, he cared. He had a passion. He had passion. And he was just everything we wanted. He was always on it. Always on it. He was never letting up. Not letting you get, but he treated you right though. He treated you fairly. You get what I'm saying? You act up, you get cut. And you know the thing I loved about him was he even told you, if I got a Michael Irvin, I ain't cutting him. But if you are okay player, you get cut. I ain't cutting my stars, but I will cut you if you ain't a star.
Oh my goodness. And it's the craziest thing, man. It's the craziest thing that collectively speaking, and this is not throwing any shade, Mike McCarthy is the third real coach that we done hired.
For real?
Since them, you know.
Come on, because we ain't counting Chan Gailey.
We ain't count Chan.
We damn sure ain't counting no Barry Switzer.
Oh, my goodness. Keep
you
going.
Ain't getting no props, Barry. I don't care if you won it. 70% of Cowboys players, I'll say it again, 70% of Cowboys players was Jimmy Johnson. And I posted that 5-minute video where Troy Aikman was mad as hell at you.
Yeah.
Mad as hell at you because you was letting it run rampant with the undisciplined. So I ain't giving you them props. Who else we have? Wade Phillips.
He's a great defensive coordinator.
But he
got to coordinate.
He coordinator, but you be going everywhere. You get them defenses right, but dog, he done coached every damn team in the league.
The thing is, this is what Wade Phillips do. For the first 2 to maybe 3 years.
They'll be nasty. After that second year, third year, they trash.
That voice gets stale, as they say.
Mondale, that's why I love you.
Yo.
999, holla. D-Law, Jalen Smith would be better players in the 3-4. Holla, holla. Donation, donation,
Oh donation, baby. Yes.
I love you, Mondale. He come with big money. Mondale got big money. He just slapped money around, fool. Mondale goes to the club and said, "Get out of my way," and slaps you with $100 bill.
You know he have cotton in your pillow.
That's what he do.
He got those $1 bills in his pillow. He sleep on money.
He just slap fools with money. Get out of my way. Take that $100
shout out
to your
to Eric
face.
Griffin, man. He said, I think that he said that Ellis had 84 sacks in 11 years for Ellis. So that's not great
that's
numbers.
Not bad. That's
and
not
Terrence
bad.
said he averaged anywhere from 8 to 10 sacks a season. That's what Terrence said on the Facebook page. We got some good statisticians up in his man.
Statisticians, whatever you want to call it. But I said about 8 sacks a year. So yeah, we about right on that. But you know what I'm saying?
Some of those, man.
We can use a lot of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to finish off with Jimmy, I'm just so happy for him. Jerry, we're all screaming, do the right damn thing and put this man in the ring of honor. Because stop trying to take all the damn credit for them Super Bowls. That's what pisses me off, dog. Y'all both did it, okay? Y'all both did it together, Jerry. We get it. This man got you Super Bowls, though, dog. You had 3 Super Bowls. Jimmy Johnson, and if y'all didn't have that little spat, come on, dog. You gonna tell me Jimmy wouldn't have had that Super Bowl in 95, or we wouldn't have won that championship in 94? Come on, dog. You think Jimmy would have let us fall off, and that was his team? So you need to do the right thing, Jerry. Put whatever you have aside and put this man in the ring of honor and stop playing. Because we know if you are any kind of Cowboys fan, you mention Jimmy Johnson, and you're like, oh.
You're right. And then I would just go to the game just to see his name up there. Jimmy Johnson.
Yes, Jimmy Johnson was the man. I love you, Jimmy.
Shout out to Jet D with the $2.
Holla, 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 dollar, dollar.
Hashtag baby beer game, baby.
Baby beer game. It's about to be full grown, so just give it about a month.
Give it a couple more months, man. We're going to be back to normal, right? But, man, here's the thing, though, Cowboys. The offense, we was number 1 collectively in total yards. What do you think about this, red zone efficiency? Do you think that with Mike McCarthy and gets Kellen Moore with a second year under his belt, you think that his offense will be a whole lot better?
I think it will. I think because Mike McCarthy has already made it known he's calling plays. He's already made it known that he likes calling plays. He's going to probably call the plays, and probably Kellen Moore will be assisting him, probably right there, things of that nature. I think it is going to be explosive. Look at McCarthy offenses before. I mean, I know he had Aaron Rodgers, but like I said, I listened to James Jones as soon as I hired, and James Jones was saying he gets playmakers the ball. He likes to get the ball, and we know Mike McCarthy likes to pass. Okay, so we know that if you keep a Amari Cooper, if you re-sign a Randall Cobb, a Michael Gallup, I feel like those guys, Blake Jarwin, those guys are really going to succeed in this offense. I think it's going to be just as high-powered, and he said Zeke is going to get that ball too. I think the playmakers are going to get the ball. He's going to be aggressive. Because he doesn't want – I feel like in my heart, remember how everybody was saying those last few years he was stale and boring? Don't you think he's going to want to come in and try to prove that he's not that dude?
Oh, I didn't think about it that way, yeah.
Think about that. They're all saying he was stale, so you think he's going to try to come in stale? No, he's going to come in and try to be bold because, remember, he sat a whole year. So don't you think all the naysayers or everybody's going to be saying, you sat out a year. You said you was doing the analytics. You said you was doing this. Why does stuff look boring again? So he has the own pressure of being able to have a top offense because he sat out that year and said what he was doing in that offseason. So we as Cowboy fans are going to be sitting there watching like, you said you sat off in the offseason, did this, and this looks boring as hell. So within his own self, he's going to have to show and have an explosive type offense because that's what everybody's going to be looking at anyway.
Yes, indeed. And there was a quick interview earlier this week, and I tried to look for it, and I couldn't find it. I said, dog, man, the nation need to hear this. If you guys were able to hear it, if you guys can find it, it was Rich Gannon. I never knew that Mike McCarthy coached him up. I never knew that Rich Gannon was on the Kansas City team. And before he went
he was back. Yeah, he was.
I never knew.
Rich Gannon was pretty nice at Kansas City, but he really blew up when he went to Oakland.
And guess what he said? The reason why.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy. Because Rich Gannon was an okay player at KC. When he went to Oakland, he blew the hell up because everybody was like, Rich Gannon? I remember watching Rich Gannon. I was like, Rich Gannon, dude? Seriously? He's blowing up? So that has to tell you what that quarterbacking coach did over there. So if he made Rich Gannon even better, and you said Rich Gannon gives him highly praise, and Dak Prescott, we hear nothing but good things from the players, how he's the first one in, the last one out. I think he's just going to soak it up because Dak Prescott is always the good soldier. He's always wanting to do the betterment of the team. So I definitely feel like he's going to be all in. Now, do I feel like it's going to be a little uncomfortable for him? Yes, I do. I think it is going to be a little bit more uncomfortable for him than it was with Jason Garrett because McCarthy is a hard-nosed type guy, and he has high expectations. And guess what? This ain't no rookie coach, and this ain't no rookie staff. And they ain't got time to be sitting there waiting 3 or 4 years to see if they're going to figure this out. This is in a win-now mode. This team is in a win-now mode. So there's probably going to be a lot of pressure on a lot of people. So there might be a little bit of disagreements, but that's okay. You don't have to get along all the time. You don't have to be the best buds all the time. Your whole goal is to come together with one mind, whether you're best friends or not, to get that goal of the Super Bowl. And I feel like Mike McCarthy is going to be good for Dak Prescott going forward. Now, I'm a little worried about the Nussmeier. I believe that's the name. I'm sorry if I messed it up.
Just go with Doug, man. His first name Doug.
We'll call him the Dougie. Do the Dougie. We'll just call him doing the Dougie. All right, so Dougie, I don't know about you, dog. I know you was a former quarterback, offensive coordinator for Alabama, Michigan, things of that nature. Yeah. But I'm sorry, I had a hope and heart for Kitna. I seen what he did. I believe Kitna's a tough-nosed guy, but he's fair and he relates to the players. So we'll see how that goes. So I'm a little hurt Kitna's gone, but we'll see how that goes with the quarterback coach as well.
You know how that goes, Cowboy Nation, the big game, James. When they get rid of Kitna, that's because his reference didn't go through. Now, a lot of times these coaches, they don't know him from a can of paint. They say, okay, yeah, that's one good year. That's good. That's cool. But let me call them references. Let me check on that reference. I trust you, but let me verify. And Doug Nussmeier, all those teams he been on, when they call to check those references, they say, yeah, he the real deal. Keep him. I don't know about Kitna. I don't know. Let him see if he can do it with somebody else. Because regardless, Dak Prescott improve every year. First one in, last one to leave. And I want to say this, it was valuable information what Xavier Woods said as well. He said when Chris Richard came in, remember, 2017 DB cornerbacks, we was getting burnt like toast. Do you remember that, James?
Burnt like super toast. He was taking it out the toaster and it was popping up. And you're like, man, throw that away. That's too brown. That's too black and crusty. I'm throwing that in the trash because I take a bite in it, it just breaks in half.
So he said that in 2018 when Christopher Richard came into the picture, and I'm not just trying to pump up him, he said that the fact that he had the Super Bowl ring, they started to doing like this. They started to listen. They started sitting there like, okay, what do you say now? Oh, and they was buying into it. It just the second year.
But I think what happened, the second year, I believe
give you guys what happened. But go ahead.
Yeah, I believe it was just a lot of friction between Marinelli, maybe him. I mean, they talked about Ben Blooms because looks like he's going to be out with the Scott. What's his name? You posted him, possible the linebackers coach. From Green Bay.
Yeah.
I can't remember his last name. Tell me in the feed, y'all, because I know his first name is Scott. I just don't have the last name offhand. Show me in the feed quick. Somebody.
It's a mix something.
But I just feel like there was too many voices on that defensive front, and I feel like there was clashing because one person is saying this, another person is saying that. And think about it. If you don't have the one mind as a defensive coordinator, the players are sitting back looking at that too.
True.
Okay? The players are sitting back looking at that saying, okay, who are we listening to? Are we listening to Rod today? Are we listening to Coach Chris? Are we listening to Ben Bloom? What's going on? And then that's where it becomes too many voices, and then players don't know who they're really going to play for. And then also, Law, let's keep it real. Players start picking sides too.
They do. They do. And he's trying to keep it PC and PG-13. But let me tell you something. But Shay Sharp, man, this is the one time I can say he did call him out. He was like, no. Skip. You know what I mean?
Hey, Skip.
But my thing is, look, I grew up in a household and I got to give you guys a little backstory. I grew up in a household where we had to cut the grass, you see. And to circumvent it, if my
McCurley.
mom watching, you know what I mean? You cut your hand, you got a headache. Mama, oh, mama, I cut my head. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my head, it's bleeding. And I got a headache. Oh, baby, just wash it off, put a Band-Aid on it. Don't worry about cutting the grass. We can play that stuff with my mom, But
right.
Old Pops, I cut my head.
He said, get your ass on out there and put some Band-Aid on that boy and cut that grass, or you ain't going nowhere.
There you go. That's the head of the household. So regardless of the situation, if you're missing tackles, if you're not onto your assignment, if you're not playing your job right, we needed a voice of reason. We didn't need something that we can circumvent it. Because I know for sure, 9 times out of 10, if I cut my hand, guess what? Law ain't cutting the grass this weekend. You see?
You feel me?
Mama gonna be like, that's my baby. And I'm gonna be like,
yeah, exactly. Play on that.
Play on it all the time. And that's doing it as a little child. You see what I'm saying? So I can only imagine these boys as they make millions of dollars making their paper. You know good and well, they just fall back and say, well, we didn't execute.
That's the easy. Well, we didn't execute. We missed tackles and things of that nature. But listen to Xavier Woods. He said, you know what? I didn't got really no excuse for it. I need to get better. I missed a lot of tackles. So he was being very stand up, and I do definitely appreciate about Xavier Woods. And also, guess what? Your contract is coming up too, buddy. So you're gonna have to play better. You get what I'm saying? Because that contract is coming up with Jordan Lewis, Xavier Woods, Chidobe, all their contracts come up next year. So guess what? Yeah. They got to get it together or you might not be here. So the fire is on them. That's why I think it's going to be it could be a very good year for 2020 because there's a lot of pressure once again, especially on that back end because those guys know I don't got Jason Garrett now to fall back on. If I don't do good this year, going to be gone.
Do you bring Anthony Brown back for a cup of coffee?
Bye. See ya.
See ya. Show don't want to be here.
See ya. We want to be here.
So I want to go over this right quick.
We can go through the list. I got them all pulled up. We can go through names.
Okay, you got the list.
I got a list.
Go with it. Go with it. I'm ready. Y'all ain't doing nothing else. It's the late night hype.
It's the late night hype. Michael Bennett. See ya.
Okay. Gone.
Robert Quinn. Gotta stay. Got to figure it out. Now, what I was looking at right here, what they were talking about, he could be expensive, Law, because, 11 and a half sacks, a beast. But this is what I was checking out, on these sites, talking about contracts. When you look at his age, I looked at Jerry Hughes, they were Brandon Graham, Everson Griffin, Calais Campbell. All those guys.
I love that Griffin kid, but go ahead.
All those guys signed their deals when they were 30 years old. How old is Robert Quinn?
29, 30.
I have to go on 30. So they got their new deals that were about between 2 to 4 years when they were 30 years old. So it can happen for Robert Quinn. The trajectory is about $11 million for him. So you can slide him. 11.8, 11 and a half ain't bad, especially when you got about 98 million. They got 81 million now, and I believe they had 18 rolling over, so that adds to the cap. That's not bad, especially if you do a 2 or 3 year deal at 30 years old, because he's not going to get no 5-year deal from nobody else at 30 years old, but he will get a 2 or 3 year deal. Only thing we hope that somebody doesn't overpay for him, because we know teams will do that. Teams will overpay or outbid you, and we know the hate on the Cowboys. We know the hate. A team may just outbid them just because they hate Dallas. Don't act like that don't be happening. Don't act like that don't be happening. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So let's just hope that they can work something out. But I think 11 million is still not bad, especially when you still got quite a bit of money in the cap. So I like to bring Robert Quinn back, and I think that's pretty good. What do you think?
Oh man, I'm all down for bringing Robert Quinn, the Cobra man, back. Hey, before we go into that, to the other players, let's talk about this right quick. It's only 2 guys left. Lovin Avery says, I hope we keep Gary Brown. We got 2 vacancies left on the Cowboys roster. We got the running back slot.
Gary Brown ain't coming back, dog.
He gone. He's cool by
because a reason why I said that is because they've been going so hard at the Drayton cat from Texas. Them and the Rams has been all in the news how them and the Rams are having bidding wars for him. Now, if the Rams outbid us and they get Drayton, then I could possibly see maybe a Gary Brown coming back. But they had mentioned maybe Edgar Bennett.
Before you go into that detail, how in the excuse me, I can use my one cuss word.
Yeah, you can use your one cuss word.
How in the hell somebody outbid Jerry Wayne Jones? There's no salary cap as it relates to coaching. So if the Cowboys want to get Drayton, whatever,
bring him on in.
Bring him on in.
And he coached Ezekiel Elliott. And he coached Zeke. And Zeke gave him a hell of a credit for making him the player he is. So my thing is, go get him. You're Jerry Jones. Yeah. And if you're Drayton, Rams, or Jerry Jones. I mean, me personally, I think I'm going to Cowboys and Jerry Jones. I don't care. I'm going to the Cowboys. They ain't going to take care of you. I don't know about you Rams.
And the other vacancy slot is the wide receivers coach. What you do with that situation? Who do you go get, or you just
I'm going to keep it real. I don't know everybody as these assistant coaches out there. I'm going to just keep it 100, so don't let me sit out there and throw a fake name and y'all be like, you don't know who the hell he is. And I'm like, you're right, I don't. So I'm not going to throw that out there and look like a dummy. So I don't know what kind of –
What about Jason Witten?
What'd you say?
A dirty word. Jason
You said
Witten.
That. Don't you say that dirty word. Don't you say that. Because when we just talking about how it shouldn't be given and everything, Bucky Brooks talked about it today. He made a tweet, and I posted that tweet, how he was talking about how it ain't what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys get in these jobs because they know somebody. It's not because they know everything and this and that. It's just because they know somebody. And that would be the thing with me with Jason Witten. I'm not saying he can't be a good coach. Law, I'm not saying he can't be a great coach. Mm-hmm. But why do we have to let him retire and him get the Jason Witten, he gets the choice if he wants to be a coach? No, you need to go somewhere and coach, dog, so we can see it. Go to a college. Why don't you go to Tennessee? They'll definitely give you a job there. Go over there and be a coach over there. And let's see you produce some players. Let's see you produce some receivers. Let's see you produce some tight ends and say, okay, damn, he got this one tight end. He was okay, and he made him better. Or look at the statistical numbers from this year to next year after Witten got there. Then you say, okay, now you earned a little bit of stripes. Come on board and let's make this happen. Now, I know people say Kellen Moore and other people got kidding. Well, you know what? I think Kellen Moore should have been able to have to go somewhere else, but that's near here or there. Mm-hmm. I just feel like if we're talking about win now coaches, why would we bring a Jason Witten in who's a rookie?
True. We got to win now, baby. We got to.
We talking win now, and he's got nothing but veterans on a win now. Why the hell will we allow Jason Witten, who's a rookie coach, when he's got all veteran people on his staff? That just don't make no sense to me, dog.
Yes, indeed. And I love Jason Witten. I just didn't like the way he lied to us, man. He said, hey, I'm not going to take majority of the snaps. I'm going to sit back and fold. And I looked at the snap count, and I'm looking down there, and I said, man, Jarwin only had 300 snaps, man. Jason got 900-some snaps. What's going on with this, man?
You feel me? And, I mean, who was the tight ends coach, though, just to say? I'm just saying.
I don't know.
It was Dougie.
Oh, it was Dougie. Oh, God, dog, why you had to hit me with the facts?
Do you with the Dougie. That's what I do you with, dog. I love you.
Oh, my goodness, man. All right, so Byron Jones.
Hold on. Before you finish that, a lot of people are mentioning Hines Ward. I would definitely be on that one.
Where he been? What he been doing?
Is Hines Ward? Isn't he still been with Pittsburgh? Who's Hines Ward with right now?
He's coaching the Jets or something. Didn't I see him somewhere?
He's a receiver coach right now. I don't know where he's with, but I just feel like Hines Ward would be a good ass coach. Tough. But go ahead and throw out the Byron Jones.
No, Byron Jones. We're gonna have $91 million to play with next year. To play with it. Just $91 million sitting in our lap.
So, when I had Patrick on the show, he was bringing up scenarios, and I was feeling them when he was bringing out the scenarios. Hurry up and sign Dak, not hurry up, but sign Dak Prescott. Don't franchise him, because them franchise tags, they're 1-year deals. And if you play on that franchise tag, that's a cap killer. Yeah, you sign a Dak Prescott to a 1-year franchise deal, and you let him play on that whole thing. That's like 30-something million. That's eating up half your cap. That don't make no damn sense. So you need to sign him. And Stephen Jones said we need to land that plane. Well, hurry up and land that joker. Land that plane. Now, I also heard that could be, I don't know if this is just media stuff, but some people may not, or in the organization, might not be sold on Amari Cooper.
I heard that news today.
You feel me? Some people were saying that in the air, dog, because he might try to outprice himself, which I don't know. I want Amari back so bad, but I don't know. That's a tough one for me. But it was saying, don't franchise Dak. get Dak's deal done, and then because they're probably going to be the two tags because the CBA probably not going to be done in time, you're going to have the two tags. You're going to have the franchise and the transition, which is the non-exclusive. You can franchise Amari, what he was saying. You can franchise Amari, okay, with the exclusive tag. I think that's like $18 million for a receiver, and then try to work something out as far as a deal with him. And then you can use the non-exclusive tag on Byron Jones, which I think is $14 million for a cornerback, if I'm not mistaken. But the thing with the second tag of the non-exclusive one, the first one is you'll be able to get 2 first-round picks. So if somebody goes out there and offers him a deal and you don't want it and you refuse to say, hey, we're going to move on, you get 2 first-round picks. I'm just thinking about a way to recoup picks. I don't want to lose Byron Jones. I was thinking he was going to outprice himself because, he's a really good cornerback. He's a shutdown Law. I mean, yes, we know he don't get the interceptions. I know he don't get the interceptions. I don't like that he don't get the interceptions. But one thing I do like is he shuts one side of the field down.
Yeah.
And what we were all crying about, Law, when he was playing safety, move Byron Jones to cornerback. Move Byron Jones to quarterback. Well, then we moved Byron Jones to cornerback, and he's been balling. So, and he's always there. He's a good citizen. He's durable. He's only 27 years old. So I think that you could still possibly work something out as for a long-term deal that's not going to kill the cap. And I think Byron Jones will possibly work with you. But if it doesn't happen, try to do that where you can at least recoup picks and get something back from him so he just doesn't walk and we can get something back. Because as I said before, I keep on ringing the Jamal Adams thing. I keep on ringing that bell, ring, because I feel like the Cowboys are really still going to look at it. And if you can recoup picks, if you don't get a Byron Jones, that can help ease the pain because it's going to cost at least a first-round pick for Jamal Adams.
At least a first-round pick, and then keep this into your mental. I think Byron Jones gave up only 1 or 2 touchdowns this entire season. I know one was against the Patriots, but if he gave up any other touchdown, let me know, Cowboy Nation. But I think it was 2, though.
Yes, he was a
season.
Hey, my bad, Law. A. Lavelle says he was an offensive assistant for the New York Jets. Thank you, A. Lavelle. Appreciate you, big dog.
Jet D with the donation, man. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Donation help grow it, man. More shouts out to you, man. Really keep it up, keeping it real. Really appreciate you. And thank for Cowboys for Life. Thank you for tuning in as well. So, man, who else you'll keep, though? Who else you let go?
Well, we definitely keeping some Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
I would like to keep Amari Cooper, but that's a sticky situation. We'll see how that goes. It is a good draft for some receivers. I really just don't want to have to start over with that. I still feel like Michael Gallup is developing. I feel like he's still not the number one, and Amari Cooper made his job a lot easier there. So we'll figure that out. I want Cooper back. I think they should try to figure that out. Randall Cobb.
Yeah, they're going to keep him. You already know how
you know they keep Randall Cobb. He's 30 years old, but you know what? We saw Randall Cobb with the gleam in his eyes when he was sitting over there sitting and looking at Mike McCarthy. So I feel like they'll work something out and give him maybe like a 2, maybe 3-year deal, maybe 2 years for Randall Cobb. I would like to see him come back. Jason Witten, retire. Sean Lee, I kind of want you to retire. 34 years old. You're always injured, but he did play bad at the end of the year. But I just don't trust your hammies, even though they did get a new strength coach. Maybe that'll cure the hammies because they got rid of the one that had been there forever. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry I don't. But they just got rid of him. I'm on the fence with Sean Lee just because we may need linebackers. But I'm more of you can cut him and we can move on and get with these young players. I'm cool on that. Christian Covington, I'd like to bring him back as a backup role. I don't think he's going to cost a lot of money. And I think he's good for depth.
For depth purposes.
Jeff Heath.
Oh, my goodness.
I wouldn't mind Jeff Heath back, but he's got to be a backup.
He got to be a backup. Okay.
He cannot be a starter any longer. Jeff Heath, come back, you're a backup. No more starting. And I think because these new guys that are coming in, Law, they won't have the loyalty to him. So I think you will see him on the back burner because I think, they're already talking about the Anthony Harris kid from Minnesota. They already went try to go after Jamal Adams. I think they're going to revisit it. The Delpit kid, we saw him last night with LSU. Right. Oh, you made a dope video. How you do? I
appreciate it, man.
And I shared that all on the page. But they could go after the Delpit kid or McKinney. I don't know about Delpit. He's okay, but I don't know if he's a difference maker. I just don't know that. He's a good player, but I don't know if he's a difference maker. That's why I'd rather go on somebody more sold. But I like Heath, but come back as a backup.
But if Isaiah Simmons is right there, 17 somehow,
because
a lot of people said that what's that guy that got your last name, James? What was his name? James. They went for the Chargers. What was his name? Big Game James. You know who I'm talking about.
Who you threw me in the loop? Who?
Safety.
Oh, Derwin James.
Derwin James. The tip of my tongue. I thought of you with that. Derwin James.
I didn't think of the Derwin. James. He's a beast, a monster.
Man, my thing is.
And he dropped. Remember, he was supposed to be higher than he went. He dropped.
17 pick. We had the 19 pick. So
exactly. So
let that happen again. Come on, Gilly Monsters. Come on. Come on.
He said Gilly Monster. I like that
Gilly
one.
Monsters.
He said Gilly Monster. So I'm like Heath, but as a backup, and I don't think he's gonna cost a lot of money either. Linebacker Joe Thomas. I like definitely get.
Oh man, he gonna
Thomas
fit right
back.
on in. Yeah.
Definitely get Joe Thomas back. You was with Green Bay, so he come on back. Tavon Austin. Bye.
Yeah, he gone, man.
See ya.
He go.
LP is a lot of sure. I mean, he's 40 years old, but you don't never hear about him because he's always on point.
He had one
Bring
penalty
that old
in his
man
whole
back.
entire career. One penalty, and that's because of the Redskin officials cheated. They didn't like him.
Bring that old man back. I like you.
Mm-hmm.
Kerry Hyder Jr. I say we bring him back. He was only cost $1 million this past year.
And a little side note to Kerry Hyder, when I was out there in Oxnard, number 51 was the first one out there on the defensive side of the ball.
And remember what all the times he was working on the side with Leon Lett? He was always doing extra work after practice. And you saw it this season. He had a pretty effective year with the Cowboys in part-time play. So I definitely would like to see Kerry Hyder back. If you had between Covington and Hyder, I would take Hyder over Covington. I think Hyder offers way more than Covington. So if they had a choice between those two, I'm taking Kerry Hyder over Covington. I believe he offers more because he's more versatile and can play more positions. So I definitely feel like that. Kai Forbath.
Competition. I still
bring somebody in for him. Yeah, turn some heat up on him. Yeah, he did good, but if we see somebody as a undrafted free agent, rookie free agent that's kicking it, get him out of there. He'll be a lot less. We need cheaper. Malcolm Smith, bring him back.
Yeah, he's back.
I like him. Malik Collins, see ya.
My thing is with Malik, man. I sit there like, man, this is contract year. This is gonna be a year that he's gonna show up and show out. He's gonna give us 8-9 sacks or what have you. I gotta go find I gotta find my sound bite to that one, man. My thing is with him. Here we go. I said, man, why in the world? You know for sure you got three people over there covering D-Law. And you mean to tell me all you can do is put your fingertips on the quarterback, create pressure that way? You can't get him down in the dirt? Come on, Malik. Then you can't stop the run. What's going on, Malik?
He's not a run stopper at all. He doesn't do the run. He just likes to pass rush. And too many times I've seen him where he didn't play gap integrity, kind of wanted to do his own thing. Like I said, I like him, Malik, but I just feel like his time is up with Dallas. And I'm ready to move on from Malik. I believe he had his chance. He didn't do it. And I feel like there's other defensive tackles going to be a lot better than him. So I'm cool with moving on with Malik Collins.
All right. Who else you letting? Who else? You want to go overtime, man? We made it an hour, man. You still got some energy?
What?
Let's go. Okay, let's go. All right. Who else you keeping? Who else you giving the boot, man?
This is a tough one. XFF.
Oh, Suafilo, huh?
29 years old. He don't cost a lot of money. But I think I'm going to go ahead and move on from him because we got Connor McGovern.
Okay.
And I think that's the reason why. And then, we got some guys that we had the Hyatt kid. I know Hyatt plays tackle, and I know we got the Brandon Knight kid plays tackle. But I really feel like we need to get McGovern in there. He was a third-round pick for us. They had a lot of high hopes for him. He was a really good player, and he came from Penn State, the Big Ten. I feel like he should go ahead and slide in that spot. Connor Williams, I don't know. We still got Connor Williams. Remember, we still got Connor Williams too. So I think me personally, I'm going to go ahead and move on from Xavier Suafilo because we got Connor McGovern right there too.
Connor McGovern, okay.
And then we got after that Ray Armstrong. I didn't see anything of him, really. So the jury's really out on him, but he is a linebacker. He's a body. I say bring him back just for some competition. It ain't going to cost you nothing to cut him. So that ain't no big deal for me. Darian Thompson, see you. Bye.
Kumbaya.
Justin March, I'm going to say you can bring him back because he's a good special teams player. He's versatile.
Wow. Yeah. Shout out to I Am the Sheep Dog 45 with the donation to help grow the nation.
Donation.
Yes,
donation.
Indeed. He said bring back the kicker to have a competition with Forbath and cut Christopher Jones.
I ain't mad at that. He's been on the team just because of reputation now. Personally, I think with Jones.
The Punisher.
So, yeah, I'm not mad at that. Donation. Tyrone Church with the $2 holla. And he says this is a loaded defensive safety free agency. It definitely is. And you can pick somebody up in this draft too. So I think we're going to be okay on that front. Appreciate you, Tyrone Church, for the donation.
Donation. For
the $2 holla.
In the overtime period, Y'all some dedicated, loyal fans over here.
We love you, dog, because we dedicated too. Shoot, we up too, dog.
No commercials. We talked about
no commercials. Straight flame. Talk. Flame on. Yo got fire. Yo got flame. Dak Prescott, we already know. I'm signing Dak. And don't leave me alone, you Dak haters. Leave me alone.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't say nothing to me. Just leave me alone. I want Dak back. Leave me alone.
Yeah, okay? Yeah. I mean, here's the thing is with Dak Prescott, just so wait and see. You know, a lot of times I know people ready to move on from him. But I said earlier today is that it's only by chance that we get a chance to even see Dak Prescott. And it's only by chance, guess what, Cowboy Nation, that we had an opportunity to see Tony Romo. Because just like you had in your interview, shout out to your wonderful, beautiful interview with Quincy Q. Carter. You see what I'm saying? And if he'd never failed or flunked that drug test, Big Game James, Tony Romo don't even exist.
Exactly. So it's funny how things happen. Hey ho, Tyrone Church with another $2 holla. He said, let Byron walk side Fuller for $5 million less. Could happen. I ain't mad at it. I ain't tripping if Byron Jones leave, but I would like him to stay. Donation. Aaron Lewis comes with another back-to-back $199 holla. Hey ho. Yes. You know what he did? He just put the fire emoji, dog.
Oh, my goodness.
Appreciate you, dog.
Spitting all type of flames. Yo got flame.
Yo got fire. Yo got flame.
Yes, indeed. Oh. So man, that's a lot of people that we're going to end up trying to sit there and say, okay, a lot of these situations, Big Game James, are only speculation for the nation because it's all dependent. There's two forms of free agency. There's a free agency before the draft. And then there's that big MAGA free agent after the draft because there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be released as it relates to veterans.
Right.
Because the team's going to say, I got my guy in the draft. And we got to figure out room. Bye-bye.
Whole bunch of them.
Yeah. So,
I was looking at the Philadelphia Eagles, and I ain't saying nothing about them.
Yeah.
But, dog, they had about 15 players they about to cut, and there was some names up in there. Alshon Jeffrey was one of them. Wow. What's the one cat that was on the line? Timmy Jerrigan. I mean, they got a lot of players that they ready to cut. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because their salary, things of that nature, they ready to move on, get some younger players. So, just like you said, there's going to be the draft after the draft, and they can scoop up somebody as well. So, great point, as you always do, Mr. Law Nation, on that one.
Yes, man, appreciate it, man. And here's the thing, though. This team can look totally different by the time the draft, and it can also sway on where we go at the draft. We said Ken's Law right now. We actually saying Grandel Pet, but it won't be a reason to go get Grandel Pet if you got Jamal Adams in the backfield. You see what I'm saying? So there's so many angles we can go with it. Shout out to you, Doc Holiday, for the $5 holla, man. Really appreciate it.
$5 holla. And guess what? Mr. Tyrone Church comes back with the $2 holla. Hey, ho, $2 holla. You know how Tyrone do. He be like, hey, man, bam, just call on Tyrone. Call on Tyrone.
Yes, indeed.
Appreciate you, big dog. Indeed, I love you for it, man.
Yes, indeed, man. You guys, man, y'all support the nation. Shout out to you, Gary Bryant. Shout out to you, Toby, that's on the Facebook panel, Jonathan. Hey, if y'all want to contribute on the Facebook, there's a membership elite button at the top of the description page. You can hit that, or you can go to Big Game James page as well and join their support column there. You got that thing on your page, right?
Heck yeah, I got it.
Yeah, y'all join that membership. Memberships, man.
Donation and membership. I told y'all I need y'all to get me to Vegas. We need to get to that draft this year so y'all can get that flame on coverage. So we're going to start all kind of good stuff. We got GoFundMe getting ready to come around. And we're going to get y'all to get me there because I'm trying to get y'all that nasty, nasty footage, y'all. Ain't nobody trying to play around.
And shout out to Star Status as well, man. They one of the groups over here on Facebook, man. They've been holding it down like 5,000 pounds, helping me out. And helping,
I like that. 5,000 pounds?
5,000 pounds, man. Really appreciate them, man. Shout out to Star Status, man. If y'all part of the Star Status squad, man, let me know. Hit me up in the chat box. Hit me up in the YouTube pages and help support this thing one way or another. So we've been talking about this thing from A to Z. And at the end of the day, what do you want, Big Game James? I know we want Super Bowl, but what do you want right now?
Right now, I told you, I want nasty.
You want nasty?
I want, did you ever watch Friday? Is it Friday 2? Friday 2, when he says, it's Mr. Nasty time.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's Mr. Nasty time. Ooh, he said Mr. Nasty time. It's Mr. Nasty time. That's what I need. I need Mr. Nasty time. I need my team being nasty, gritty, grimy, dirty. That's what I like. When we talk about, you name Bill Parcells, even Tom Landry. Tom Landry didn't play that.
No, he didn't.
And Jimmy Johnson. Why did we like them? Because they was nasty. They didn't put up with that. They worked your butt. And what produced? Wins. Super Bowls. Not with Parcells, because I think we got him more on the back end of everything. Goodness. If we would have had Bill Parcells in maybe 5 years ahead, dog, who knows? He probably wouldn't have gave it up that quick because he was too old. He said, I just ain't got to deal with it. But when the Cowboys have done the best in the history since I've seen it is when we had a tough, hard-nosed coach. And they need to bring nasty back, like Justin Timberlake said he was bringing sexy. So if you ask me, what do I want? I want nasty.
Back.
Bring it back. Hey, Tyrone Church with the $2 holla, smack, come back with another $2 holla, smack. That's what he do. He comes with, that's what he don't play around. He said free agency, going to make the draft easier. He said, I never feel this hype for an 8-18. I feel you, but it's going to be a little bit of hype because we're just excited because we got veteran guys. And like I said, the main thing I want, Law, bring nasty back. What you want? What one thing you want to see? I want to see nasty.
Hey, man, can I echo what you said? And I'll go to my grave and saying this right here. If we had Bill Parcells in the 2007 season, there's no way we go to Cabo. We win in that game. We win in
that game, dog. You think Bill Parcells is giving that up, dog?
No way.
And that's what hurt me so bad. It was like you really couldn't see Parcells really mess with Romo. Yeah. It was like he developed him, had the 1 year, and then was out. And it was like you really could. It was like, damn, Bill, you just was getting Romo. You don't, man, come on, dog. Romo with Wade Phillips. Okay. But Romo with Parcells them years? Oh, my God.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, my God. He definitely wasn't going Cabo because what did he say in them 10 quarterback commandments? Yeah. We don't need no Hollywood guys. We don't need them.
You don't need them. Shout out to the $5 holla.
$5 holla.
SK814.
Hey,
ho. He said
if. Y'all.
He said if, and it should be should, or it should be saying when. It should be saying when. He said if Witten retires again. He put the if in there. It should be when. And I'm not hating Jason Witten.
Nobody's hating, dog, but your time is over.
It's over with.
Bruh, it's over.
What do you guys think of Thaddeus Moss, who goes with the Blake Jarwin?
Bruh.
Thaddeus.
Bruh.
I think that's his name. Thaddeus.
Yes, bruh. I did a video today on my YouTube page and said, Thaddeus.
That's his
Moss,
name, Thaddeus.
Get him. I posted it on my Big Game James page in the morning. I said, Thaddeus Moss, go get him. I tweeted him. I don't tag none of these players. I don't tag none of these players. I tagged him in a tweet. And I said, please declare and go pro. Please, 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 because he hasn't declared yet. I still think they have 3 more days before they can officially be done with declaring because he is an underclassman. Dog, Thaddeus Moss
that's a big
with Blake
boy.
Jarwin.
81.
Oh my
you saw how big he was?
Oh my God.
Gosh.
Oh, and he don't mind getting gritty and nasty and dirty. He don't mind it. I want him. If they can make that happen, that would be nasty.
Oh, my goodness. Ooh, I can see this offense. And then, you know what? Mike McCarthy, he played tight end when he was in college. So I like a coach that understands tight end play. And, you know, the tight end position is always a quarterback best friend.
Yes, and we need explosive. We don't need a 5-yard catch and then getting tripped and falling and getting 1 yard. We need a Moss or a Blake Jarwin. There's other guys out there as well as far as either free agency, which they're a little bit more expensive, but we'll see how that goes. But at the end of the day, you need somebody that has speed that can still pair with Blake Jarwin. Schultz is a blocking tight end to me. He ain't really going to offer nothing in the passing game, in my opinion, but I feel like he's a damn good blocker. He might catch some passes here and there, but you got one of your blockers. Maybe you can get somebody who's an undrafted rookie free agent or an undrafted person, maybe something like that you can have a blocking tight end. But we need to have at least 2 receiving tight ends, at least 2 for me. Guys that can stretch the field, guys who are scary. And if you can get the Moss blocks and catches.
Yes,
so he's 2. We know Blake Jarwin, he's not the best blocker. We all know that. We understand it. But he's a dope pass-catching tight end, and I know they're going to have to sign and bring him back. But if you could pair him with somebody who can run, catch, and block, that'll be a nasty combo, and it'll make it easier for Dak Prescott.
Yes, indeed, because all we saw during training camp, Schultz was one of those guys, not Jarwin, but Schultz and Ed Witten was one of those guys was political moves because during training camp, we saw this guy, what was it, number 84. I think his name was McElroy or something like that. And we saw this other kid that we picked up from the Seattle Seahawks, but we let him go.
Lucas was the one guy. That's the one I liked because he was showing up. He was showing up in the preseason games, catching everything his way. But guess what? He couldn't make the team because why?
Reliable.
I'll leave it alone.
And then, of course, Schultz was
I'm going to leave it alone, Jason.
I am the sheepdog number 45, not Coke 45. Made a $5 holla.
$5 holla, man. We appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you doing the overtime, man. Y'all keeping us going live right now.
Feel me? We midnight up in the house, smacking fools.
Midnight hype. He says we need junkyard dogs on defense, but currently
we do.
We have a bunch of loudmouth chihuahuas.
Ooh, I like that one. It's a good one right there.
Hey, but some of them chihuahuas got some heart, man.
Don't let it
be a shit.
Yeah, they might got some heart, dog, but I'm kicking them.
That Shih Tzu will walk up on you, though.
He might walk up on me, but I'm going to step on him. I ain't stepping on no Rottweiler, though.
That Rottweiler, you already know what this is going to be
I ain't messing with no pit bull.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Dogs and nasty because, you hear a Chihuahua or you hear a Shih Tzu or you hear them little dogs barking. And what do? You walk right past them and say, man, shut the hell up. And you jump at them. Don't you? You go by the fence like, shut up. I'll knock you out. But I bet you don't do that with no big old Rottweiler.
No,
I bet you don't do that to no pit bull. I bet you be like, hey, let's walk around that corner because I ain't going over there because I heard he be jumping the fence and be biting folks.
Yeah.
That's what we need right there. A dog that's going to jump the fence and run right after your ass and chase you all the way back home. That's the type of players we need. Feel me? Now, I'm going to just let y'all know. I'm going to let everybody know in the book. I went overtime, but my boo thing said, get the hell off of here.
Let's go wrap this thing up. But shout out to Keith, man. Hey, man, thank you for the donation. He said, God bless, man. He said, great content, man. For the $5 holla, man.
$5 holla. Hey, ho.
Yes,
we appreciate all y'all in the feed. Let me appreciate everybody. Let me give a few shout-outs. I don't think I got a few shout-outs. Stevie Mac 23, Montana 808. What's up with you, dog? Montana, when you going to come to a Leonard McKinley game, dog? You say you're in the CO. I had a game today. Leonard McKinley's good this year, dog. They might win the city. I'm saying they might win the league. Come out there and check me out.
Shout out to Montana 808, Big Game Jam. I think, let me know if I'm right or wrong, Montana 808. That brother said he's 6'7".
Damn. Well, you definitely need to be coming on in there and watching some hoop things, man.
So you know
them boys over there balling at Linden.
I got photographic memory, so Montana 808, let me know if I'm right or wrong now.
That's dope. Mark Grissmeyer. Now, he mentioned these guys, and he said thoughts. I like Ebron, but I don't know they're going to do it because I think it's going to cost too much. So that's just my thoughts on that right quick.
But still, man, squeeze, though, man. Give me Ebron, man.
I'll take I've been on the Ebron train since 2017. When he left Detroit, everybody's like, I was posting videos of him. I said, get that man. Everybody's like, oh, go get him. He be dropping the ball. He inconsistent. He don't be doing this. He don't be doing that. He went to the Colts first year and got 11 touchdowns, was tearing stuff up. I know he had an uneven season last year, but they had uneven quarterback play too. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the reasons why he fell off as well. So I'm definitely on the Ebron train, but I ain't trying to spend crazy amount of money for him when we can get somebody cheaper.
Yeah, you ain't lying, though.
Tyrone Church, Locks Main, Devontae Singleton. Who else? David Pence. Tim Williams. What's up with your big dog? Good looking honky.
Good looking honky. Oh my goodness.
I like that one. But I appreciate all y'all jumping in the feed. Thank y'all so very much. Like I said, Boo Thang said, guess what? You getting off of here?
You had to go home.
You had a great time today. I love hearing you saying the hollers. But
ahead.
She said it's time for bed, baby. So get your butt off of there. So I love y'all. But when wifey says get off of here, must go.
Yes. Tell them where they can find you here, fam.
You can find me, Silver and Blue Nation, man. Big Game James. You know what we do. You're on YouTube right now. So don't act like you don't know. Get your butts on in here whenever we dropping shows over here. Check it out on Facebook. Dropped a couple of shows on Facebook recently. So we do on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. Got a lot of things going on. Make sure you check out tomorrow. Law get in there too. I'm going to have Jeff Kavanaugh from 105.3 The Fan at 9 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to talk draft. We're going to talk, players as relates to the draft. We're going to prick his brain. He said he's already went through some players and he's going to go over things. He said he'd give me about an hour. I think it's going to be really good. I like his style, and I'm really excited to be able to talk to him. So make sure y'all check that out tomorrow. It's going to be on my YouTube page at 9 p.m. EST. Once again, that's Jeff Kavanaugh from 105.3 The Fan. He'll be on tomorrow, and we'll try to have a good time.
Yes, indeed, man. That's good stuff, man. 2020 vision, baby. Let's keep this thing going. Keep doing your thing, Big Game James. Hustle, Big Game James, man. That man hustling.
I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler.
And shout
I'm
out
a hustler.
To Tom Landry from the heavens, man. Drop $2, man.
$2 holla. That's
Landry.
My guy.
Tom Landry.
He don't play. I love some Tom Landry. And he
really
got the hat too.
You, man. Got the hat and everything.
Hey,
all right, Cowboy Nation. Follow Law Nation at lawsnation.net. Follow me there, as well as MySpace, Black Planet, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, both other channels, LAWS Nation and Facebook. Really appreciate you all. That's been my time, or that's been our time. And remember, you're listening to nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing but the best. Let's go. Yeah, we out. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. Big Game James.